So I don't... Button class, navbar toggler. Now, weren't there other things there too, though? Oh, wait. Collapse dot navbar collapse for grouping and hiding navbar contents by a parent breakpoint. Okay. Collapse dot navbar collapse. Where do they have that? Oh no, it's just I want both. I want collapse and navbar collapse. So you have collapse and navbar collapse like that. You don't automatically show up here. And you don't automatically show up here. Okay. I was kind of hoping that would work. I'm still a little bit worried that it requires some more like navbar type stuff. Like, okay, so we have a navbar here. Then I have a container. Then I have our button for the collapse. Oh, then up here I have this. I do have that show on it. Navbar collapse. I wonder if I don't want the navbar collapse here. And I just want... Oh, but the show got added in as soon as I click the button, because that's what it does. Because I don't have a show in here. I guess if I take you and I put you back in here below the button, I don't think this will do anything to it, but yeah, so it's still shown like that. I mean, you kind of work, but not that way. Okay, so for grouping and hiding navbar contents by a parent breakpoint. So maybe, okay, the parent breakpoint would be this div. Oh, so do I have to, I maybe want to have a row in here. That's a little bit too painful to work in. Let's work it in here. Okay, so if I have you, we have container fluid. So then, okay, breakpoint. Can I go straight to call, or do I have to have a, I can't remember if I have to have a row. Now, if I just have a single column like that, and I don't give it a breakpoint, I wonder if by default it figures out that there should be a breakpoint. Okay, that doesn't show up automatically. And you don't show up automatically. Is it the opposite? Okay, you never show up during any of these breakpoints. That makes sense, okay. Now we have our, okay, so this is a call small. So what if I wanted to call like, call medium like 3, or was it like call 3, call extra small 12? Ooh. So I want call 12, call XML 12. I mean, so it jumps full size, which is okay. That does now care about a parent. I believe that there's now parent breakpoints. Okay, so navbar toggler on the button. So we have navbar toggler on a button, and that's where you put it here, right? Yeah, navbar toggler. We have collapse and navbar collapse here. Okay, and this automatically collapses at a large breakpoint. Because here we have navbar expand large. Okay, so that's the next thing to try. So we have so maybe I want navbar expand small. There it goes. Now it shows by default. And in here it doesn't show. Okay, and so then as I go down, okay, so at that point it's no longer good. So this is probably okay, but it then goes in here and now I can expand it. Okay, so not small. I want medium. Okay, whatever this is. So we have so probably large then. Okay, and you become toggle lessons nav, but I want you to also be full size at that point in time. And how do I do that? Do I put, let's see, okay, so we set you here. Okay, and here, okay, I'm doing width, BB call width 3. I wonder if I want to make these all large instead of the other one. So in column, so instead of small, I do these as just large. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. That looks appropriate there. And if we come just a little bit back, that shows up there. That button, the button is pretty small and has this big long thing, which probably because I used a nav bar around it. And the button isn't there at all, right? Yeah, it's completely missing down here. Okay, so that's fine. And then you show up there. So for your button, I can make you have a full size, right? How do I want to do this? I could put a little bit of CSS in here. So let's see. Okay, for our CSS, we're just going to do width 100%. And then we throw that on here. Okay, and you're a navbar toggler. Let's see. Did you not get pulled in? Oh, and UDB is styled component. That did not do what I expected it to do. Okay, so I try to say that your width yeah, okay, so for the button, we have, okay, so the stylus got set up in there. Your width is 100%, which is being taken advantage of, but it's not. Oh, 100%. Oh, weird. I mean, I'm not going to set that to be 340%. Why? Okay, so why are you set up like this? What is your parent with? Oh, because we have call large. If I did call large 12, back to the button and made you 100% again. Where's that button? Okay, so that actually doesn't do it. So you know that you're that size. Oh, because I need call small, extra small 12. Maybe, no, that doesn't do it. It's not the flex shrink. Okay, interesting. So this has that max width. Okay, that's great. You have some padding. That's not a problem. It does make me wonder in here if I need the BB row and BB call anymore. And if I'm causing interesting issues with that. So like if I were to remove yew.rs, remove yew.rs. Yeah, that's what did it. Okay, so it was my column and it was my row and column that caused that problem. So now this shows up the full way here. Okay, so I have nav class, div class this. Okay, so we have button classes. Do I need that width now? I do. Okay. So I need the width still on the button to make it take up the full size. I messed up toggler. Okay, that looks nice. I like that. That disappears over here. And then I want to, let's not make you dark. Okay, so we just have toggle nav bar, toggle lessons nav. That toggles hat or not. Okay, I like that. Okay, you stay at the top, and then you know what I can do? I can put another one at the bottom. Ooh, wait. Because I missed this. Button style, I have to clone you now. Okay, Can I do something silly with this? We're going to take this button and I'm going to throw it in there. So this only shows up when it's opened up. So we just have this toggle lessons nav. I pop you open, and now I can turn you off there. Nice. I can turn you off from both sides. Okay, I like that. And then of course, if I make this bigger, that doesn't show up. And we just have the normal nav bar as expected. Nice. I like it. Okay. What else would we need to do to make this work? Because it kind of looks good now. Blah, are you still there? If you are, I'd love your feedback on like how this looks when it's down, because I think we got it to the point where you don't need to use reader mode anymore. And you can actually take the thing without having a nav that broken and like running into the content, which is always nice. Ooh, the examples are, I don't know how to fix these. The example code is just gonna suck, right? Because I guess it's gonna suck on mobile in some cases and it's gonna be okay in other cases. But because I have it within a pre tag, it just formats it exactly as is, which is kind of what you want, but also like not quite as nice because we have these problems. And I have no idea what we can do about that. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is good for us right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and we can ship this, and I think we'll be good to go. Okay, I believe that's deployed out. So if I come here, we go to introduction to Docker, go to preview, I need a refresh. I guess like let's take a look at make sure everything is looking good. So we have you on full size. Everything looks great. Courses, introduction to Docker, preview, installing Docker. Great. Everything looks good. Let's go back home. And we will put ourselves into, okay, 12.13 mini. So we want to go to courses, introduction to Docker, preview. They don't show up. Okay, we want to go to a different course, a different lesson, and now we can. And when I'm done, I can complete the article. Okay, I like it. So that's this ticket done. Perfect. So we're going to close the issue and move you into done. Oh, you know what? I forgot at the beginning we had a couple things in our inbox, so we want to go through those. All right, so set up CI/CD for auth0 actions. Okay, so currently we have 3 actions. Okay, so currently we have 3 actions set up for auth0, and they are hand coded into the interface. There is an API that would allow us to manage the flows and code externally. Let's set up some GitHub actions to test, and then I guess we have test and then auto deploy to 0. So I think I actually created auth0 actions for this. And labels, this will be an enhancement. And right now I'm going to throw this into backlog because it's not that necessary. Okay, other one. As a learner, I want to purchase a course for another learner. So, I mean, this feels pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to just throw that into LMS. But then that's also going to go into backlog, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Create page for testimonials for Books Builds as a whole. So I believe I have another issue on here for set up testimonials. Yeah, add ability to add a testimonial to a course. This one would be slightly different. I also want to have like testimonials for just all of Brooks Builds. So that could be like for the stream, for the YouTube channel, for the LMS as a whole, something like that. We've actually seen some people say like, oh man, your videos are great, or something else with like a nice tidbit. That could be something great to put in there. So I'm gonna add that to. I think that goes in the LMS, just maybe on like the front page as opposed to on an individual course. Enhancement, but I'm also going to put that into the backlog right now, so we're not going to worry about that. Not something essential for deploying the Docker course. Okay, excellent. Let's take a look at our. I should also commit and do all the fun stuff, because I deployed, but that was a local deployment. So also we have warnings. We need to get rid of those. Okay, so you're good on the YCL side. Okay, so what did we do? We added a collapse. We added a collapse component. That gives us to here. Okay, so now we get to finally start removing some of the stuff that we stopped using. So okay, we're not using yew anymore. Oh, and that was it? That was the only thing we're not using? Okay, good. So make sure we saved everything. We only removed unused stuff, so that's fine. So in this case, we're collapsing course article nav when on smaller screens. Okay, and that goes up. Okay, so we're good to go there. Docker course, naming consistency, rename, deleting a Docker container to delete a Docker container. Okay, yeah, so that's the rename a title, which I don't have the ability to do right now, but we have a ticket to do that elsewhere. So I can update that here. Kiran, hello. How are you doing today? Let's see. This is my first time watching your stream. May I know what crates you're using for this project? Yeah. So the crates I'm using for this project, I'm using yew. So for the front end, we're using a component-based front-end framework that's very similar to React, and that's called yew. This YCL is my own custom crate that I've created. That's basically just a component library that uses yew behind the scenes and then just does that stuff. Yew router gives us the front end routing capabilities, similar but not exactly to the same as like React router. Glue allows us to run simple front end library type stuff. So like I can get console log, I can get the window object, I can get the document object pretty easily and use that with Glue. I can even send network requests through Glue too, because it has request sort of built into it. GraphQL client, so we're using GraphQL on the back end, and so the ability to send GraphQL requests from you is, well, using this. Surday, obviously, every project that uses JSON needs Surday, it feels like. Udx is our centralized state management, so think Redux, but for you and Rust. .env macro and .env, so that allows us to load environment variables from a .env file. Hooks, so basically there's some expanded third-party hooks out there that are separate from the ones just provided by you, and then hooks is really nice for that. This error, so I can create my own custom errors. Sometimes I want to create a random number. Get random allows me to use rand with JavaScript to get a random number on the front end, because otherwise it doesn't work. Websys, so I can convert Rust objects into basically, well, I guess it's the other way around. I can convert JavaScript / HTML DOM objects into Rust objects. Wasm bindgen, this sort of like works together with Websys, allows me to run DOM stuff from Rust itself. stylus, so I can have styled components and like actually do styles inside of Rust. URL, so I can manipulate URLs and do other things. I'm basically using that only with auth0 stuff. WASM bindgen futures. This allows me to create a promise inside of Rust because if I want to use async code, but it's also like not async, it's I guess it's not async. It is async code, but I want to create an async block, but I want to convert that async block into a promise. Then I use WASM bindgen futures for that. Error for my error handling, and JS for JavaScript sys like connection stuff. So that's those are all the dependencies. Does that help? Or if you have any other questions, let me know. How flexible is you with creating simple animations? It should be very flexible because, well, I guess it also depends upon what kind of animations we're talking about. Are we talking about CSS animations? Which in that case, absolutely yes. It's very flexible with that because it's just going to run on the web, right? It's just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and in this case, WebAssembly, all at the end. And CSS animations doesn't really care where the DOM nodes come from. It just cares, do you have a class on there? And then it just runs. If it's JavaScript animations, whereas if you're doing DOM manipulation in order to like change the width or do something else with that, that is also compatible, but it's going to be a little bit rougher to write in and a lot more sort of like code that we're gonna have to do. I don't know if I would recommend it with Rust right now, unless you're using what is it called, the canvas element. The canvas element, but still like it's a little bit overkill to do that inside of Yew. Like Yew is not going to help you at all. You're going to have to write all of that stuff yourself, or find a canvas animation framework in Rust. So at that point in time, I probably wouldn't use Yew at all, except to maybe like load up a wrapper around it and then load up like another app essentially inside of it. But it's generally a good idea to try to do as many animations in CSS as possible, because CSS animations do get to run on the graphics card as opposed to just CPU animations, which are much more intensive battery wise and CPU wise. So like they're going to have potentially performance issues on the phone. Okay, so what was I looking for? I was looking for, okay, so rename deleting a Docker container. So if I search for this, so add a filter, title. I wonder if I can do similar. Similar to deleting a Docker container. Okay, there goes that. I want to edit you to be delete a Docker container. So delete a Docker container, hit save. We should be able to come back here immediately. And wait, that's the wrong one. I want you. Toggle lessons nav and delete a Docker, image. Delete a Docker container. So there that is. So that's set up for us. Perfect. Well, that's fast. Close issue, and we are done. Docker course, typos, change Docker ls. Oh, yeah, okay. So typos, change Docker ls to Docker network ls. Yeah, so I missed the Docker network ls command. So this is in connecting Docker containers together with networks. Again, I have to do this in the database because of reasons. But if I find you, we can edit you. I make you full screen there. Oh, weird. Okay. Oh, that's the description. I don't want that. I want to go to the content. Content, view that. Oh, can I not edit this here? Okay, but I can see the ID of you. Okay, so this is change Docker ls. So if I search for Docker ls, this becomes Docker network ls. Okay, saved. Let's see. Docker network ls. I don't have access to this right now, so I need to log in as myself. Okay. So we've got you. I want to go to courses. I own this course. I can open it. I want to go to connecting Docker containers together with networks. Okay, we can, before we create a network, let's take a look at the Docker networks available to us. We can do this with the Docker network ls command. Perfect, okay. You are also done here. Increase space between each section within a course. So if we take a look here, there's not really much space between each of the, oh no, each section here. Oh, this is what I want to do. So I need to figure out how to add in a little bit of space inside of the articles here. So this is all turned into HTML from our Prism, I want to say, Prism.js. And I want to update this, and I wonder if there is, I wonder if there's some like up styling. Okay, so all styling is done through CSS with sensible class names. Like, okay. Oh, so I can just update you. Okay, cool. So back to you. So for each section, that's like an H. Oh, interesting. They put an ID with the actual content in there. That's a choice. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Okay, and I have everything in here with an ID of course content. It's an ID though. Chantilly Cake, hello, how are you doing today? And thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a 40-month streak too, which is awesome. A happy Tuesday. I believe that everything here has a course content on it. So if we go into course access article, so I'm accessing the article. Yes, here's BB course content. That's from here. Course content. The LMS is looking really good. We ended up getting the mobile dev stuff working, so now it looks good on your phone and on a normal size monitor. And now we're working on all the last little sort of tickets. We've just done like 2 or 3 that are pretty fast. Some of them are just like sort of like a little spell checking thing. Some of them are like little mini styling. Like this one is a little mini styling. We just want to increase space between sections in the actual course itself. So yeah, it's going well. Okay, so we have BB container, BB row. Yeah, so I have this ID course content, and then I kind of also, so it's an ID to show the course content. I kind of want also just do a class of the same name. Course content. So if I do that, all right, Chantilly, have a great rest of your day at work. All right, so looking at here, that, do I need to resave it? No, okay, so that didn't work. What happened? Because I'm trying, okay, so I'm trying to save this. So if I save you again, oh, I know what's wrong. I need to switch back to using local. Okay, so we have you here, and yeah, there it goes. Okay, so now I have a class course content and an ID course content, which means that I can come back to here, go to BB style. Oh, we have okay, so course content, I can actually change this to be a dot now. So we set the iframes to be with 100%, and then the other things is I want course content all. Wait, this is the first one, right? I want whatever depth you are, I think. maybe it doesn't matter. H1, H2, H3, H4, 5, H6. I want you to all have a margin top of, so that separates it a little bit, right? So margin top of like 2 rem. And then I'm pretty sure we're going to have to undo this so it doesn't take effect for the first one. Did that work? Okay. Yeah, so there's our margin top 2 rem. Is this big enough? Do we... I mean, 3 rem might be better. It's a nice little space difference there. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. Now for this first one, yeah. This first one's are that H1, and you are margin top. Now, if I take you off, that just goes right up against there. I actually don't mind having the space up here. I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine as it is. So I'm ready to ship this. So margin top, 3 rem. I think that looks good all the way through. So I'm good to go with this one. That does solve. Okay, I believe that solves this. Let's go ahead and deploy you. I guess also. Okay. All right, so what do? We added space above or between course article sections. Okay, so those are all good and pushed up. We can double check and test on here. So this is what that looks like there. Objectives right up close, content up close. If we hit refresh now, we have a bigger gap, and so that's much easier to see. Perfect. All right. Oh, an ad is starting in like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this as an opportunity to go take a break. and we'll be back and continue working on these tickets. So I will be back shortly.